All right, good morning. I'm hoping this is working. Just having some technical difficulties. We're trying this on my phone instead of my computer here. I don't really know if I'm doing this correctly. So, if you are just, hey Marisa, okay, I think that means it is working. So, Marisa, if you don't mind, give me a quick shout and let me know that this is looking good and normal. Like I said, I'm on my phone rather than my computer, and I'm hoping that this is gonna work. So, I apologize for getting started late here. We're gonna just keep our fingers crossed that this works. So, let's get started like we did on Friday. Come on down to the mat. And just like we did on Friday, we're gonna get started on all fours. And then you're gonna take your right hand to the back of your head. And really it doesn't matter which hand you start with. But go ahead and bring that elbow down to meet your opposite elbow. And then you're gonna twist open. So we're getting some movement through the thoracic spine. See if breathing into that twist, if you exhale, see if you can get a little bit more of a twist here. And then we're going to switch sides, 5 or so per side. One more on this side. Good, nice. So this next movement that we do is a little tricky, really good for shoulder mobility. So if you've got a small towel, go ahead and fold that so you can put your forehead on it. And then we're gonna lie down, lie on your stomach, and start by bringing your hands to your low back with palms toward the ceiling. And then right off the bat, you can rest your head on the towel, but right off the bat, go ahead and pull those shoulder blades down and back. Now, without letting those hands touch the floor, we're gonna hover them as we keep those shoulder blades pulled back, and we're gonna reach forward in front of us. And then we're gonna reverse it back, 2 hands at the low back. So now, forehead on the towel, squeeze those shoulder blades back, reach those hands forward, and bring those hands back. Let's go 3 more rounds. And one more time. Good. Come on out of that. Now what we're going to work on is simply getting those hips accustomed to that squat position. So see if you can just sit your butt down toward the floor here. I like to use my elbows to push those knees out wide. You can also have hands separated, maybe hands on the floor here, to help you work those knees out wide. And if you find that you're more like here, that's okay. You can still use those hands or elbows to push those knees out as wide as you can. Maybe you're hanging out about halfway down, working knees out. Remember though that we want to keep a flat back here. So rather than, just sort of slouch into that squat, see if you can keep a flat back, push your butt back behind you, and then push your knees out wide. And then from here, we're working on some slow, steady repetitions. All right, good. So we are going to work on the circuits like we did on Friday. I'm gonna have to see about getting my whole self in the frame. So go ahead and make sure you've got space to work. We're gonna do a similar lateral lunge to what we worked on Friday. But today, if you start standing tall, we're gonna step out, drop into that lunge, and reach overhead. Bring yourself back to center, opposite direction. So as you take that step out, that's when you'll reach those hands up. And that's where you'll notice that if you've got some stiffness in the shoulders or the back, it's gonna be a little more challenging to reach those hands overhead. From there, we're going to the walkout push-up. So that's from standing, hands to the floor, walking out, either staying on your toes or dropping to your knees for the push-up. Lift your knees and then walk yourself back up to standing. The difference today is that when we go for the second one, we're going for 2 push-ups, walk back in, then we'll go for 3 push-ups, so on and so forth. And then from there, we're coming down to the mat, and we're gonna do the get up and go. So if you're lying on your back, you can either press yourself up to standing, or if you wanna go for the full spice, then you're gonna work on hands free coming up to standing. So that'll be the whole circuit. We're getting ready, set, go. So you might be able to see that I have a really hard time reaching all the way overhead because of my shoulder mobility and maybe a tighter mid-back. So do your best here. Reach those hands as high as you can. And time. Good. So next we're going for those push-ups in 3, 2, 1, and go. So on this next round, we're gonna go for 2 push-ups. Next is going to be 3 push-ups. Remember, you can always lower to your knees if you need to while you're doing the push-up. And time. All right, for the get up and go, come on down to the mat. Let's start on our backs and go. So the purpose here is to get yourself breathing heavily. And if we're not using hands, that's certainly going to be harder. It's going to require more from the core. And time. All right. So with, let's take a break here. With those technical difficulties, I didn't cover any of the basics today. While we're resting, I'll show the waiver that I've got to show. The usual business. My apologies. Today was all sorts of out of order. I'm also not playing music during these workouts so that you can play your own music and it will sound better. Gives you the option to listen to what you want to listen to. If I play music, you get the crummy audio. So while we're taking this break, if you want to set up your own music, feel free. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on rolling here. So We've got 2 more rounds. I want to move a little bit quicker this time. We're coming back to those lateral lunges. Getting ready, and go. So your extended leg is going to feel quite a bit of stretch here. And then do your best to reach those hands all the way overhead. Five more seconds here. And time. All right, so we've got those push-ups. Let's see if we can get through 4 rounds this time. Ready, set, go. So that's 1. This is 2. This is 3. Let's go for 4. And that's time. All right, we are coming down to the mat here. This is the get up and go movement. Ready, set, go. And if launching yourself up to standing is not for you, then you're going to use 1 hand at a time, or maybe 2 hands to bring yourself up to standing. And time. All right, take the break here. Have a sip of water if you need it. We've got 1 more round of that. So let's jump right back into it. Starting with those lateral lunges again. Ready, set, go. Reach those arms up as high as you can. 10 more seconds. See if you can bring those hands up to completely vertical arms. And time. All right, we're shooting for 5 rounds on those push-ups this time. Gonna have to move quick. Ready, set, go. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. And 5th round. And 5. Good. And then down to the mat for get up and go. Ready, set, go. Just 10 seconds left here. And time. All right, let's take a little break. Next round is going to be a little more demanding. We're going to kind of pyramid our way up in difficulty and then taper back off again. So same foundational movement that we did on Friday, where we'll start with squat. We're going to step 1 foot at a time back to a lunge, and then we're going to stand. So when you're in the squat, you're going to notice that your torso leans forward a little bit. And then when you go into the lunge, see if you can make yourself tall. And then stand up tall. From there, we're coming down on the mat. And we're gonna do a V-up. So from your back, with arms extended, you're gonna lift yourself up to a V, come back down. Come up as high as you can, come back down. From there, the fun stuff, we've got burpees. So you can either bring hands to the floor and step your feet back, or you can hop your feet back. We're coming all the way down to the floor, press, back up, jump for the ceiling. Sagar's here. All right, what's up, Sagar? Hopefully Janet's there as well. Camille and Mitchell, if you're doing this workout, give it a thumbs up. So with the burpees, if you're finding that you're bugging your low back, go ahead and just lower yourself to the floor in a push-up rather than coming all the way down to stomach on the floor. We're going for 3 rounds again. And ready, set, go. So we're gonna squat first. From that squat, we're moving to a lunge, lunge, and stand. Squat, lunge, lunge, and stand. Three, two, one, and time. All right, down to the mat here. We've got those V-ups. Ready, set, go. Ten seconds to go here. And time. All right, burpees are next here. Ready, set, go. Just 8 seconds left. Keep pushing. And time. Oh boy. So that's 1 round down. 2 rounds to go here. If you need a quick sip of water, now's the time. And if you need to modify, you can always pick out the pieces of the movement that are compatible for you. So if you're doing the squat to lunge and you find that bugs your back, maybe just work on the squat. All right, we're coming back to it. Ready, set, go. Once you're in that squat position, stay as low as you can as you transfer to each lunge, so that you're not standing up between each piece of that movement. 5 seconds to go. And time. All right, down to that mat for the V-ups. Starting on your back here. Ready, set, go. You're almost there, keep pushing. and time. All right, we're moving on to burpees. Couple of big deep breaths and ready, set, go. You can do this, keep moving, keep moving. And time. All right, looks good so far. That's 2 rounds down. We got 1 to go. Don't worry, the last circuit is a little more doable. So, 1 more round here. We're starting back with that squat to lunge. Ready, set, go. Take your time on this set here. We're focused more on the strength that can be gained from this movement rather than just moving quickly. And time. Now on the mat for this ab exercise. Again, focus on moving with precision. And go. We want to create that V between the torso and the thighs. Personally, I've got to bend the knees a little bit to accommodate the low back. But if you can keep knees straight, you'll find it's a little more challenging. Makes the balance a little trickier. A little more bang for your buck. And time, all right. Burpees, last little piece of this delight here. Ready, set, go. Ten seconds left. And time. I wasn't going to do a second more of those burpees than I had to. All right. That really challenging circuit is done. Whew. The last round here will be a little mellower. That being said, it's not going to be easy. Just probably won't be quite so high intensity. So what we'll start with is a single leg bridge. So if you are in your bridge position on your mat, so knees bent, feet flat on the floor, feet are just about hip width apart. Start by rolling your shoulder blades and sort of tucking them under you so that the tops of your shoulders make contact with the mat. And then from there, you're gonna lift left foot off the floor. You can either keep that knee bent and just hover it here, or to spice it up, you're gonna keep your thighs parallel to each other and you're gonna lock out that left knee. Then we're lifting and lowering 15 seconds on one side, 15 on the other. Next, we'll stay on the mat, backs of the hands on the floor, or you can bring your hands under your butt. We're going to do that straight leg raise. So the goal is to bring those legs all the way down till they're parallel to the floor but not touching, and then come back up. But you get to modify it. This is how far you go. If that's how far you can go while keeping a flat back, that's okay. That's what works for you. From there, the last movement is going to be a little tricky. So I'm going to demo this from a couple different angles. But you're going to start in a push-up position plank, and then we're simply going to turn over to the back, come back to the front plank. So we're going to do a plank to a reverse plank. From the side, what that will look like is starting position, ending position, back to starting position, and just keep moving between the two. You can switch the side that you roll over. That's really, really going to challenge your balance in your core, and it's going to be it's going to do a number on the shoulders. So go ahead and start on your mat. Let's start flat on the back. Bend those knees, dig those heels into the floor. Let's start with pushing through the right foot, left leg lifted, and go. Just 15 seconds per side here. So we're going to switch feet now. Keep going. Exhale as you push those hips up. Almost there. And time. All right. Straight leg raise. Backs of the hands press into the floor. Ready, set, go. If you want to make this a little harder, you can keep your upper body in a crunch position, meaning that shoulders stay off the floor. To contract those abs just a little bit more. Whatever you choose, make sure that lower back can stay flat on the floor. And time. Good. All right, now we've got the funky plank to reverse plank. Ready, set, go. See if you can keep those hips high the whole time, so that as you transition, you're maintaining that plank position. And 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. All right, because that's lower intensity, we come straight back into those bridges again. Ready, set, go. No long breaks this time. We're just going to wrap it up, moving quickly. Go ahead and switch feet. Keep on bridging. And time. All right, we're right back to those funky planks. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Almost there. And time. Good. Just like that. 2 rounds down, 1 to go. So one more time. Coming down to your back. I might have forgotten the single leg, sorry, the straight leg raise that time. Switch legs. And and straight leg raise. So, legs long, either hands on the floor or hands behind your head, and go. If you get any popping in your hips, you can try flexing the feet or pointing the toes and see what works best for your hip flexors. See what works best for your body. And time. All right, we're back to those planks. Ready, set, go. Keep your hips in line the whole time. 5 seconds left here. And time. All right. Good work. So the bulk of that workout is done. We are going to move to some core work, similar to what we were just doing actually. So you've got two options here. One is to work from your forearms. The other is to work from push-up position. So similar to what we were just working on, but more focused on the core. We're simply going to move from plank to side plank, back to your plank, to your other side plank. So if extended arms is a little rough, then you will simply work from forearms. That would be starting here, transition to here, come back to your front plank, and transition to the other side. Whichever option you choose, I want you to work on going for the whole minute. We're going to run through 2 minutes like this. I'm sorry, 2 1-minute sets like this. And if at any point you need to sort of, rest and recover, simply hold one position. So maybe stay in the side plank, stay in the front plank, and do your best to keep your body up the whole time. So, let's get set up here. Starting in the front plank, and go. Take your time, make your transition smooth. Once you get into each position, take a second to check in on that core. Make sure abs are braced tight. Make sure you're keeping your hips in line. Make the most of each movement. Just got 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and time. Let's take a little breather here. Oof. So that's going to be a lot of work getting from one shoulder to the other. So you might be feeling that more in your shoulders than anything, and that is okay. Just make sure that you're still bracing well through your core. So let's come on back. We're going to get started in about 5 seconds here. Again, you can either be on straight arms or bent elbows. Ready, set, go. 30 seconds in here. Keep working. Keep your abs braced, buns tight. Squeeze those thighs together. 15 seconds left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, you made it. So all we've got left is some cool down work. Nice job today. If you've had enough, I'll see you Friday. Otherwise, we're gonna run through about 4 stretches that hopefully will leave you feeling a little more limber after what we just did. So let's start nice and easy. Seated on your mat, and then we're simply going to start walking those hands back behind us till we're getting a nice bit of shoulder extension. Keeping chest lifted, shoulder blades squeezed down and back. And ideally you're feeling a stretch through the front of the shoulders. Maybe you find it hard to keep chest up while you do this. Maybe you're better off staying a little more upright. Whatever you choose, make sure it's stretch and not pain. Should feel productive. Shouldn't feel damaging. Maybe walk those fingertips just a little bit further back. Come on out of that. Next, sitting up nice and tall here, we're going to get those hamstrings a little bit of stretch time by simply sitting in that L sit position. I like to press my hands into the floor and see if you can gradually work that torso forward enough to feel a stretch through the hamstrings, through the back of the legs. If you're not getting much in the way of a stretch here, maybe bring the hands to the knees or the shins. Still, your goal is to keep a flat back. Keep your chest high. And target the hamstrings without rounding the back. Good. And then you can ease out of this. We're going to turn over now. We're going to get into a push-up position. And you're going to stack your left foot on top of that right heel. Use the weight of that left leg to push your right heel toward the floor for a nice calf stretch. Let's switch sides. So now your right leg is pushing that left heel toward the floor. You can see what sort of a stretch you get by simply having both feet on the floor and driving the heels back, pushing heels toward the floor. However, I get a little bit more stretch out of propping one foot on top of the other. So make sure you run through both sides twice. Good. And the last thing that we're going to do is, with wide knees, we're simply going to come on back to a child's pose to give your chest and your back a little bit of a stretch here. So you can bring your forehead to the floor. You're going to sit your butt down toward your heels. And what we'll find is a pretty good through the lats. So think of sort of the area below the armpits working its way down toward your waist. And you'll probably get some stretch through the shoulders here too. You can ease your way out of this. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties this morning. I hope the video still worked. I will see you all on Friday. Have a great week.